Hey, what's going on, Salina Scoop? I'm Jason Lee Wisdom with the postseason of week 6 of college. Sorry, week 6 of high school and week 7 of college. I'm sorry for the delayed post. I apologize. It's been a horrible day. This blog, we're going to do post review over week 6 of high school and week 7 of college, and also preview week 8 of college and week 7 of high school. And let me tell you, week 6, we had quite a bit of upsets and close games once again. Sacred Heart 24-7 over Inman. They get their first win of the season. So congratulations, Sacred Heart Knights.
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and get down with the stats, shall we? Passing yards, none. They had no passing yards. This was a running game.
I believe
303 yards rushing for Sacred Heart, 157 for Inman. I guess it was just, they decided, you know what, forget it. We're going to battle it out on the ground.
Yep.
And sure enough, we did. Anywho, rushing yards. Sacred Heart, Salas, 13 carries for 98 yards. Alvarez, 8 carries for 89 yards. Inman, Strange, 4 carries, 78 yards. Conrad, 15 carries, 33 yards. Receiving, none. Passing yards, none. The passing game wasn't even there. So, let's get it on with the next one.
Just real quick, another key to that game to point out, McCartney for Sacred Heart, 3 fumble recoveries in that particular ball game.
Okay. Well, I definitely missed that one. I apologize for that.
So,
like I said, it's been crazy week. I was a little behind trying to get my statistics as I was trying to stay on top of things. It's just been one crazy week. Anywho, we'll move on to the next. Salina Central Hutchinson. Central's trying to stay on momentum heading into the South Central matchup, and they would get the big win over Hutchinson as a final score of 27-12. Central pulls the upset over Hutchinson. Passing yards, Hutchinson 27 yards passing, 156 for Central, 241 on the ground for Hutchinson, 223 rushing yards for Central. So another pretty much battle on the ground for there. Passing yards, hits for Hutchinson, 2 completions at 7 attempts, 2 interceptions, and 27 yards. Gardner, 7 completions out of 13 attempts for 156 yards. So that's always good to see. Rushing yards, Hutchinson, Middleton, 23 carries, 147 yards. Wentz, 13 carries, 75 yards. Central, Peters, 38 carries, 209 yards.
And 3 touchdowns. It was a hell of a night for Dalton Peters.
God.
I'm telling you what.
I will say that. Gardner, 5 carries, only 6 yards. Now let's head down south.
Ooh,
Derby South, Salina South. Salina South looking to go 6-0 for the first time since 1982. So guess what? We've had, so far this year, things happening for the first time since the 1980s. And some of this happened before I was even born. Terry, you were just a little, young pup, weren't you?
Yep.
Woo. So, and by the way, we have big news. And once again, Terry, I think you were a young pup when that big news happened last.
Yeah, we'll get to that here shortly.
Yeah,
we have a whole lot to talk about today.
We're going to try to make this quick, but like I said, we're not professionals, so bear with us. But anyway, Salina South falls for the first time this year, 45-14 at Derby. But I'll tell you right now, Derby's always been a tough place to play.
6A powerhouse, generally speaking.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
another
in a big way.
Another battle on the ground. 227 yards rushing for South, 257 for Derby, 19 passing yards for South, 57 for Derby. Rushing yards, McCullough, 14 carries, 28 yards. Wassenberg, 11 carries, 41 yards. Stagmeyer, though, you ready for this? The fullback.
Yeah.
22 carries, 134 yards.
Sounds like you got the bulk of the load for the Cougar offense.
Oh, I'm sure, because they're probably just trying to, you know what? Forget it, we're just going to pile it in there. But anywho, Witten for Derby, 26 carries, though, 210 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That is just insane. Russ, 9 carries, 28 yards. Passing, Wassenberg, 3 completions out of 14 attempts.
Yeah.
2 interceptions, 19 yards.
It's the story of the game, really.
Absolutely. I think
they have had just unbelievable passing offense for the majority of this season, and No dynamic duo hookups in this game. And that's, I think, what killed the Cougars. The Derby defense clearly came to play Friday night.
Exactly. Derby did shut down the dynamic duo for Salina South. Wassenberg could not find Marcotte or Becker. It's just, I honestly think if you do want to beat these Cougars, you're going to have to shut down that combination. And so far, only Derby has been able to do so.
In fact, I think Becker had one reception. Coach Sheever and Stegmeyer each with a catch.
So it's just trying to find a way to stay in it, but unfortunately that Derby defense was just too tough. And the thing was, they were tied going into half. It was 7-7 at halftime.
Indeed.
And through the whole second half, you're kidding me. 38 points in the second half alone for Derby. That's just remarkable.
Going to set something very interesting for this week, and we'll get to that later.
Absolutely.
Do the preview here shortly.
Southeast Saline 41, Ellsworth nothing. Southeast Saline getting back on track after that embarrassing loss last week. Who was that to Beloit? I believe
it was.
Yes.
In a game that initially was supposed to have been played in Ellsworth and was relocated over security concerns with a fugitive that authorities were looking for.
Ooh.
Of all strange things. So the Trojans with an extra home game, as it turns out.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. Rushing yards for Southeast Saline: 44 carries for 287 yards, 68 yards for Ellsworth. And then 58 passing yards for Ellsworth, 64 for Southeast Saline. Yeah. So once again, the running game, just the deciding factor here. But we'll get down to it. Trapp for Ellsworth, 31 carries, 69 yards. Southeast Saline Schlesner, 20 carries, 162 yards. Bescher, 16 carries, 112 yards. And we move on. El Saline and Smith Center.
One real quick thing for the Trojans. Murray, Leister, and Thaxton each with a fumble recovery in that ball game. Again, and a lot of turnovers. The cold, wet conditions last Friday sure had their effect on a number of these games.
And, Sheridan returns an 80-yard fumble return to set up another score.
This game an upset. El Saline had previously, to the best of my knowledge, never defeated the powerhouse known as the Smith Center Redmen, and they opened up district play in a big way.
Absolutely. El Saline 14, Smith Center 13. Yes. El Saline pulling off the upset by 1. So a nail biter there, but listen to this. This is defense right here. 172 yards for Smith Center. Through the air, only 74 yards on the ground. But El Saline, listen to this. 62 rushing yards and 15 passing yards.
That is correct.
That was a defensive game there for El Saline, and they win it big there.
77 total yards for El Saline compared to the Smith Center, who had 246.
Oh, absolutely.
Defensive special teams, the factors for the Cardinals there with the fumble return and, of course, the opening kickoff of the second half, which led to a 3-yard score. Louis Arceo getting it done there, and that was the difference in this ball game.
Oh, absolutely. St. John's Military School at Wichita Home School. We do not have a score at that moment, as we were just...
We do actually have a score for that. Wichita Home School, victorious in this ball game, 49-0.
I thought I saw a score, but I know we were having troubles getting that score.
We did have some trouble confirming it over the weekend, but I did get a 49-0 score. Another sound defeat for the Skinners, unfortunately.
Thank you, Terry, on that. Like I said, we were having difficulties with keeping up on statistics this week. Hopefully, we will not have that same problem this week.
Technical snafus, if you will.
Snafus. I hate snafus. Anywho, let's go on to college. K-State on a bye week this week. They take on Oklahoma this week down in Norman. We'll get to that here in just a minute. But Tabor at Kansas Wesleyan. And boy, was Kansas Wesleyan hoping for another victory to keep on going. Unfortunately, they would get demolished 70-35 here at home. But now listen to these stats.
Oh boy.
Tabor, 140 passing yards.
Correct.
Okay. 58 carries. Terry, I hope you can compose yourself. 517 yards rushing.
Matt Drinkle, did your rushing defense not show up Saturday. I mean, there's got to be an
Your
issue.
secondary showed up.
All due respect to the Coyotes, but that's an atrocious amount of rushing yards to give up. Me being a Texas Longhorn fan, that's something the Longhorns did a year ago to BYU.
We'll break down definitely
and win a
what we
football
did
game.
here, and I'll tell you right now, looking at the stats here, buddy, guess what? You'll see why here in just a minute.
That's a bright spot.
363 yards for passing yards for the Coyotes, 87 yards rushing. Let's get down to
day
it.
for Jake Curran, who also threw 4 touchdown passes on top of those 363 yards.
Unfortunately,
so
the defense could not help out their offense. So let's get down to it. Rushing yards. Bernhardt Hardy for Tabor, 15 carries, 171 yards. Coleman, 10 carries, 149 yards. Kansas Wesleyan Sachs,
Taylor
25 carries, 104 yards. And Jones, 2 for 5 yards. Passing yards, Curran, 21 for 42, 0 interceptions for 363 yards,
Taylor Sachs,
4 touchdowns.
Taylor Sachs, by the way, with 104 yards rushing, also contributed 109 yards worth of kick return.
Oh, good God almighty.
Yep.
Anywho, Bernhardy, 5 completions out of 11 attempts for only 122 yards. And that concludes our post-week blog. Now, let's get on with this week's games. I do apologize for the late post blog. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, Friday night is here. Salina Central, Salina South.
Absolutely.
Ready for that Mayor's Cup challenge.
Yes. Big game.
I'm sorry, but I do not dare be a Mustang fan right now because they have one pissed off Cougar team coming into Salina Stadium tomorrow night. It's just
the Mustang defense has played well as of late. They've been getting it done on the ground. I think this game is going to come down to defense.
Oh, absolutely. Now, can Central's defense do what Derby did last week and stop that Wassenberg-Becker, Marcotte combination? I don't think so. I don't think they have the talent in the secondary.
I would like to think Coach Hall and his staff have looked at that game film from
I'm sure they probably looked at it and looked at it and looked at it. It's just, this is what we need to do. It's like it, but can they do it? That will be... What?
7 o'clock Friday night. If you're going to be there, get there early. It's going to be crowded. If you can't make it, KSAL 1150 AM for the Central broadcast, Y93.7 FM for the South Cougar broadcast.
And TV channel, Cox Channel 22. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be on TV. Oh my God.
Cox Cable subscribers, HD channel 2022 or standard channel 22.
Terry, I have to get ready. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille.
Oh, here we go.
And me, myself, and I, and Terry will be there at that Salina game. So please stop by. Yes. Let us know how you like our blogs, and we'd love to hear feedback and any concerning news that you want to hear and or have for us. Council Grove at Southeast Saline, El Saline at Bennington this week, yes. St. John's Military at St. Mary's Academy, and then Medicine Lodge at Sacred Heart Saturday
at noon
on the 18th.
And this game is being played at Bethany in Lindsborg, which
always a good matchup there. Bethany at Kansas Wesleyan this Saturday at 7 p.m. And then Kansas State at Norman, Oklahoma, to take on the number 11th ranked Oklahoma Sooners.
Game on ESPN.
Oh, absolutely. ESPN at 11 a.m. And also Kansas Radio KSAL 1150
K-State for
radio. Oh, absolutely. So that's always good to see, getting good recognition from them.
Pretty good football on tap for the weekend. This
weekend.
Chiefs back in action at San Diego.
I'm happy that I can get my mind set on football right now.
Until
because,
Tuesday.
Ladies and gentlemen, come Tuesday for the first time. Terry, let him say it. Say it with me. For the first time since when? 1985, baby. The Royals are in the World Series.
Absolutely.
Terry, say it with me. Say it with me just one time and one time only. 1, 2, 3. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? 29 years are up. The drought is snapped.
Amazing.
And here's the thing, though. To all you doubters, A 7-3 come-from-behind win over in Oakland in the wild card. A 3-0 sweep of the Los Angeles Angels.
Correct.
And they have the best record in the MLB.
This is true.
Heading into that game. Okay.
No problem.
We can do it. 3. That's right. 1, 2, 3.
Done.
3. Done. Baltimore. 4-0 sweep. Come and get some. These Royals are hot. They're ready. Let's get on to Kauffman Stadium as they
Baltimore
await.
team with 96 regular
absolutely.
season wins. A lot of people
by the
thought
way,
they were going to make a World Series run, and
10.
they just couldn't do it.
10 games is what they won their division by.
That's true.
They won. Baltimore Orioles won their division by a lead of 10 games.
They own the American League East, and this is a division with Boston, the New York Yankees, for God's sake. I mean, hello?
Where's the Yankees?
I
forgot they're doing this.
Done.
They're waving on, sitting at home, looking in. Boston Red Sox, same thing, looking in from outside. Ladies and gentlemen, you can feel it. And there's a chance for a rematch of the 1985 World Series hanging in the balance. San Francisco, though, is looking to uphold that.
3-1 series lead.
It is a 3-1 series lead heading into tonight's Game 5.
Yep.
Cardinals, Giants heading into Game 5. Cardinals looking to win to keep the series going. San Fran looking to punch their ticket to take on the red-hot, undefeated in the postseason Kansas City Royals.
First time in Major League history
my
a team opens the season 8-0. That has never happened before. Ned Yost, the first manager to ever achieve that feat. Congratulations to him as well.
And you know, Terry, I think I have the perfect song for the occasion.
Music?
Oh, I do have a little. I do.
What do you got?
I think we got a little wild thing going.
Major League?
Oh, because the fact of the matter, since they were a wild card, why not? So guess what? Here you go.
The only difference is we don't need Charlie Sheen.
Nope, we don't need Charles Sheen. We got Hosmer.
Oh my God.
We got Hosmer. We got Herrera. We got Davis. We got Holland. We got Perez. We got Alex Gordon. We got Loose is the Moose.
Mike
Moustakas. Come on, baby. What more do you need? And we got the Speed Demon, Mr. Arriba, Mr. Jared Dyson, and Mr. Gore. What more could you ask for?
How about the American League Championship Series MVP, Lorenzo Cain?
Lorenzo Cain sacrificed butt to bring in Aoki and
Omar Infante, Alcides Escobar, Salvador Perez.
Oh yes, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Big game James Shields. I mean,
That's all I gotta say right there. And they are the wild thing right now. And by the way, ESPN, do you want to know who I pick as the daddy? Do you know who I pick as the daddy? I'm gonna tell you right now. It's someone that you would not expect. It's Alex Gordon after that big catch into the fence, and you still get up. My hat's off to you, sir.
I think ESPN figured it out. SportsCenter top 10 plays of the yesterday, number 1.
That's right. And Mike Moustakas in Game 3. Not one crazy catch. No. That leaping catch for that line drive. No. The line drive. No, that wasn't enough. We'll amp it up. We'll catch one over the fence into the stands, baby.
Well,
yeah.
Both top 10 plays on SportsCenter.
Exactly.
Well, Roy's getting some love.
And Infante making the grab in the sunlight. Fuck the sunlight. We don't. What sunlight? What sunlight? I caught that ball. Yeah, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, these Royals are hot. They're ready. And oh my goodness, can you taste it, Terry? I can taste it. So guess what? All I gotta say is this. You want to doubt the Kansas City Royals? Well, guess what? They're going to put more heart, more determination into this World Series. And I want to tell you right now, in the 28 years that they were out of the postseason, if any Royals team deserved...
Four seasons with over 100 losses. We went through some tough seasons.
Oh, exactly. I think if any Royals team deserves to win the World Series, it's this one.
Oh,
Last year, they were denied by Detroit near the end of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit just costing them a chance at the postseason. This year, Detroit looking to do it again. would not do it.
Couldn't get past Baltimore.
Nope. No, they could not. Detroit was swept by Baltimore.
Indeed.
Kansas City barely holding on to that wild card, beating the Oakland A's in the first.
I think that set the tone for this run, because let's say the Royals win that game 5-1, 6-1, no drama. You don't have the same zone to keep the run that's going.
It's just I don't think the Cardinals have what it takes to put out this fire that the Royals are on. The Giants.
Go back to the regular season. The Royals swept a 4-game series over the Giants, and they took 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals. I mean, they clearly can hold their own against these two remaining teams in the National League.
But here's the thing, though. Think back, Terry. Think back. Oakland had the best record. Kansas City swept them in 1 round.
They were an odds-on favorite to win the American League
World
Series this year until they fell apart.
Baltimore winning their division by 10. Los Angeles Angels.
200-plus home runs they led.
Los Angeles Angels. Best record in baseball. They were the new pick team after Oakland had their little drought they had going on.
Indeed. Oakland, Baltimore, and the Angels, 3 teams completely loaded with talent.
Just could not stop
the
Kansas City Royals.
This hasn't deterred Kansas City at all.
No. If you want probably one of the greatest seasons of baseball you have ever seen with a team that will not be denied this year, it's this year. Congratulations to the Kansas City Royals, the 2014 AL champions.
Indeed.
For the first time since winning the World Series in 1985. George Brett, I think, was about to have a heart attack with that last out.
So good to see him still.
Yes.
He's in his early 60s, and to see him like that, it brings back a lot of good memories from 1985.
Exactly.
Those of us that have been Royals fans that long remember the end of Game 7 when he found his way to the mound and threw his arms around Brett Saberhagen as that last out in Game 7.
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you right now.
You talk about a different postseason. That year, they came back from 3-1 and 3-2 and 3-1, respectively, to win the ALCS and the World Series.
Oh, exactly.
And they haven't had the play come from behind, thank God. If they sweep again, you're talking Saturday the 25th would be Game 4. And actually would be in whichever National League team comes out of that. But the drawback of having home field is you're going to have to win Game 3 and 4 on the road.
I know, but I think a lot of Royals fans would love to see them win this World Series at home. But you know what?
I don't want to go 7 games.
No, I don't want to go 7 games. Nobody wants to go 7 games. I'll tell you right now.
If I tell you what, they go on the road with a 2-0 lead. The Power and Light District in Kansas City, where they've been setting this big screen up, that's going to be a hell of a place to be.
Oh God, I can't. Here's what a buddy of mine told me. Why don't they just sell tickets to a World Series game over in Arrowhead? You got that big enough screen. Why not? You want money? There it is, right there. You have a stadium right next door.
Road games 3 and 4. So they'll take us to Kaufman. They've got that huge screen, and that what used to be the Crown scoreboard is now a huge. Largest screen in Missouri is that Crown, and it would be,
all I have to say, I was born in 1986. I was born the year after they won the World Series. I was conceived around postseason of 85.
Yeah. That might be an overshare, but...
I know, I'm sorry. I didn't want to share it, but you know what? I can finally say I deserve it, damn it.
You came into this world about 7 months after they won that title.
Exactly.
So you missed it by that much.
Yeah. But all I got to say is this.
I was 10.
I don't give a shit what I share today, because you know why? I can finally say it. The Royals are in the World Series,
Indeed.
Terry.
Oh, that newspaper ad. World Series bound right on the front. Today's copy of the Salina Journal.
That's right. Read it, didn't we?
You know me, I'm not normally a Journal supporter, but I had to have that one.
World Series bound, baby. Yep. The Kansas City Royals are in. Deny us this year, Detroit. No, they will not be denied.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the color of choice of October is blue and gold. Blue and gold. And by the way, this doesn't, right here.
Believe it.
Believe it.
Believe it.
Believe it. That's right. Terry,
you gotta love
I'm ready. I'm ready for Friday.
I didn't even notice the broom up top.
Oh, exactly. I'm ready for Friday. I'm ready for Saturday. I'm ready for Tuesday.
I'm ready for every,
What a hell of a weekend, and I apologize
Is
now.
Is it a holiday this month? Because I'm not even thinking about the 31st.
No, I'm not. I'm not thinking. No, it's baseball. It's October, baby!
Oh,
By this time of the year, I'm ready. I'm full on football. I am full on football or getting ready for basketball around this
I
time.
haven't enjoyed October baseball like this.
No. I'm still on baseball, baby. I am blue and gold all the way. I don't care if we're the worst team, if we're the best team. Kansas City Royals will always be my team. My father took me to a game when I was very young. I don't remember. It was actually before the remodel, and they had all those orange seats.
Oh, wow.
So it's been that long.
I've been since then.
I've been to Kaufman when they put in
Been about 10 years.
the crown screen, but probably before it was remodeled. And then I've been to two Royals
screen
games.
that's there now was put in just a few years back.
So,
Because
yeah.
the last time I was there in 04, they had the Jumbotron screen in left field, which is no longer there. That was pulled when they put the new screen in. Of course, they've redone the fountains.
Oh yeah, I went to a Kansas City Royals game in Kaufman when I was in 7th grade. And trust me,
I want to go back so bad.
when you watch your team on TV, it's a great feeling when they win. But when you are in the stadium and you are around that atmosphere,
and it is absolutely a beautiful
it's
place
a
to
beautiful
watch a ball game.
Exactly.
I love the atmosphere.
I love going to Bill Snyder Family Stadium, watch a K-State football game. Great atmosphere. I loved it when I went to Arrowhead to watch the 2000 Big 12 title game between Oklahoma and K-State. I loved it when I went to Coors Field and saw KC take on the Rockies. I loved it when I went to Kaufman and saw the Royals take on the Twins.
Sure.
Amazing places to be.
You know, the funny thing, you and I, of course, we have a little college football rivalry between the two of us, K-State and Texas.
Oh, absolutely.
Game 4 is the same day the Longhorns and the Wildcats are scheduled to meet. And for the first time since I've known him, football may be secondary that day.
Oh,
it probably most
it
likely
will be
secondary.
No. I'll tell you right now, that is going to be a very tough day for me. If K-State Texas is on before the Royals game, okay, I can get psyched for K-State, but I'm still going to be stoked if we are.
I have a football game to shoot for during game 3.
If we are on a 3-game, or if we're leading 3-0 on the World Series come that Saturday,
oh my gosh,
I don't think I'll be focused on K-State. I'll be focused on the Royals, baby.
Oh, indeed.
But anywho, I'm sorry for the late post blog, but here we are with preview of Week 8 of college, Week 7 of high school, and boy, do we have some matchups.
Oh, yeah.
So anywho, I'm J.C. Wisdom.
I am, as always, Terry Tabriggy.
You keep on scooping on, and we'll keep on keeping on. You take it easy.